All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the meta tag. So the meta tag defines metadata about an HTML document. So let's type out the meta tag first, just so we see what it is. And then what I'm going to do is below that, we'll just type out meta and hit tab. And then you can see what it does here is the name Twitter and then content. Okay, so you can utilize the meta tag to put specific information in there so it will target certain things. So for example, you can use the character set UTF-8. You can do meta name description and then type in content and then meta name keywords, content. So for this example, we do HTML5, and then we could do meta name author, content Josh Werner, and then meta name viewport, content with device or with equals device dash width, and then initial scale is 1.0. Now all that is for responsive web development, okay? And this is stuff that you would put in the head tag with the metadata, okay? So for this example, let's do that. Let's do meta character set, which is char set, and then let's do what UTF-8, okay? And then we'll close that. And then the next one we'll do meta, and then name, okay? And let's do description, okay? And then content, okay? And then let's do HTML5 course. Okay, so what this is going to do is this is going to talk with Google. So when Google is searching for things, and I don't want to go off too far into the weeds, but when Google is searching your search engine optimization or your SEO, it's using meta tags to do that, okay? So the meta tags always go inside the head element and are typically used to specify character set, page description, keywords, author of the document, and viewport settings. Metadata will not be displayed on the page, but is machine parsable. Metadata is used by browsers how to display content or reload a page, search engines, keywords, and other web services. There is a method to let web designers take control over the viewport, the user's visible area of a web page, through the meta tag viewport. Okay, so again, the way to talk with Google is you would use keywords. Okay, so we would do, for example, we would do this. If we wanted this to show up on Google, instead of doing Twitter, let's do meta and let's do name, keywords, okay, and then let's do content and let's do HTML5, okay. Now we have that, and then what I could also do is we could do meta, okay, and instead of Twitter, we can do author, and then equals. So let's just do author. Let's see if it lets me do that. Author equals. I like when they autofill because it, and actually that's wrong. It's going to be name equals author. Sorry. So we'll do name and then author. Okay. So you can do keywords, generator, description, and then author. Okay. So we'll do author, and then we'll do content, and we'll do Josh Werner. Okay. And then we'll do one more. So then we'll do meta, and we'll do name viewport. Okay, and then we're going to do content, and we're going to do width equals device dash width. Okay, and then we're going to do a comma, initial dash scale equals 1.0. Okay, and then close that. And so that, what that would do is that would assist in your quest to get ranked high on Google, because this is Google friendly information. And so what you would do is you'd put it here. You would put the metadata here, and then you would utilize that, and you would put as much information as you possibly can about your web page in this area, and you would keep using the meta tags for that so that you can maximize your search engine optimization for keywords on Google. And what Google will do is it will take they call it a spider, and what the spider will do is it'll crawl over your web page, read the information, and then send it back to Google and say, okay, this web page talks about HTML5. So anything that's searched for HTML5 or the author name of Josh Warner should use this, okay, etc. And then the viewport is different, but it's also saying, look, I want this website to be mobile when it gets down to a certain size, and I'll show you what I'm talking about with that. Okay, so it's not going to be very responsive with this kind of content, but when I drag this over, if it lets me, let's see here, if I can, yeah, okay. So you can see that it automatically resizes, but that's because everything's on the left-hand side and nothing is big enough to block. So you see that this is mobile friendly, and we haven't really done anything, okay? But there's more to it than that when you get into the responsive web development. And I highly recommend studying CSS before you really get into responsive web development, because that's another layer on top of building the structure of a web page. And that's what HTML5 is you're building the structure, okay? And the way that I think of websites is like building a house. You lay the foundation and the skeleton first, and that's HTML. Then you need drywall, exterior walls, right? And you paint them and give them all the fixtures and whatnot. None of it works, but you give it all those materials and elements. And then to give it functionality, you run electrical, you run power, which is electrical, you run water, etc. You hook everything up, and once that's running, it's dynamic. That's JavaScript. Okay, so that's how I look at front-end web development in 3 layers. So we're on layer 1, and we're learning the foundation first. And then, like I said, if you want to learn CSS, check that out in another course, and you can learn it there. Okay, so that is the meta tag. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.